Hey guys, and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'll be reviewing one of my most anticipated films of the year and the final film in the trilogy. It's The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, directed by New Zealand legend Peter Jackson. So this is one of those really big summer blockbuster films. Everyone knows the Hobbit films, the Lord of the Rings films by Peter Jackson, based off the books. So I was really excited to see this. I really loved An Unexpected Journey, and I liked The Desolation of Smaug even more, so I was really excited to see how the film trilogy would conclude this year, because I haven't actually read the Hobbit book, though you kind of get the gist of how everything's going to go down by the trailers and what people are saying and how the first two films played out. So we pretty much have all the returning cast from the first two films. You've got Bilbo, Gandalf, all the dwarfs, you've got Legolas and a few others back. So it's good to see everyone back in the film. And the film story pretty much picks up straight off from where The Desolation of Smaug ended. Smaug was heading to Lake Town to destroy it, and this one picks up when he's pretty much arriving at Lake Town. The place is being destroyed. Bard the Bowman kills Smaug. I don't think that's too much of a spoiler. I think most people were expecting that, and people who've read the book know that's going to happen. So that was a really cool introduction to the film, The Battle of the Five Armies. I thought that scene was done really well. Smaug was really cool. I was hoping he would be in the movie a little bit longer. He was only in it for about first 5 or 10 minutes, but it was really cool in the film, so it was good to see him back. But the film mainly focuses on Thorin, the leader of the dwarfs, and now that they've reclaimed the Lonely Mountain, all the gold is kind of possessing him, and he's kind of caring more about that than he is about the other dwarfs and about the people who need his help that have left Lake Town now because it's been destroyed, and they've come to him because he promised them some of the gold in the previous movie. And so now that the news is kind of out throughout Middle-earth that Smaug is dead, everyone knows that there's no one really protecting the gold, so all these armies are heading there to claim it for themselves. And so the film is kind of leading up to this giant battle that's going to happen between all these armies. You've got dwarfs, elves, men, orcs, you've got Gandalf the Wizard and Bilbo the Hobbit, so you've pretty much got all these different species coming together for this war. So the actual battle itself looked really cool. You had all these dwarves and elves and orcs facing off against each other. You had separate battles focusing on Bilbo and Thorin fighting leaders and Gandalf as well, so it was really cool to watch. It wasn't boring at all, it didn't slow down. The one thing I noticed was this film was very fast paced. It only goes for about 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is quite short for a Lord of the Rings Hobbit style movie, especially from Peter Jackson. I noticed with the first film it was kind of slow paced, the second film was evenly paced, and this film was fast paced, so I think that's kind of interesting. And while I really enjoyed this movie, it didn't have the emotional pull that the ending of the Lord of the Rings trilogy had. It kind of wrapped up really quickly and neatly, whereas the Lord of the Rings films kind of ended with a bit of a dark, down, depressing period, but then it just really felt like it worked, and this film, it worked, but it just kind of wrapped things up really quickly. But the story's quite interesting to see Thorin, who throughout the first two films was this real good leader, leading the dwarves back to their homeland, and he's really kind of possessed by the gold in the first half of this film, and he doesn't want to know anything else about anyone else outside. He doesn't care about the war, he just wants to keep the gold to himself, so it's kind of interesting to see that change in his character, and then another change towards the end of the film with him. So I think that The Battle of the Five Armies was a really good addition and ending to the Hobbit trilogy. I thought it was better than An Unexpected Journey, but my favourite is still The Desolation of Smaug from this trilogy. I just think that was the best adventure film in the last few years, and I think it was just the best part of this trilogy. But if you're a Hobbit fan and Lord of the Rings fan, you'll definitely love this ending to the films. It kind of wraps up everything in Middle-earth and kind of sets it on the way for the Lord of the Rings, which this was a prequel to, so it's interesting to see how it connects to the Lord of the Rings at the end of this film. So other than a few minor issues in this film, I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to give it a very high B+. So thanks guys for watching my review of The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. If you've seen the previous films, you'll definitely like this film. Let me know in the comments section what you thought of the movie if you've seen it already. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.